Hello and welcome back to the Movie Memo Recaps. Today we are going to recap a 1996 movie titled Maximum Risk. Please be advised that there will be spoilers ahead. The film opens with a man under pursuit on the streets of Nice, France. Several individuals pursue him as he escapes into a building. He destroys a door, enters a residence, and jumps to another balcony. Eventually, the man stumbles and escapes on a tricycle while being pursued by people in a car. He manages to dodge the pursuing strangers, but becomes distracted and falls over the car's windshield. He smashes the glass, and we discover that he is dead. Sebastian, a police officer, sends Alain Moreau to the scene because the dead man's face resembles his own. Sebastian acknowledges his torment and subsequent pursuit. They retrieve a match from his pocket, which points to a nearby motel. Sebastian claims he does not want to include Alain in the investigation, but he informs him that he is already cooperating. They proceed to the hotel, where the proprietor misidentifies Alain as Mikhail Suvorov and gives him a message stating, "Call Alex Bohemia." Mikhail's room has a passport with Alain's date of birth, as well as a plane ticket to New York. They also found cash in his driver's license. Alain goes to see his mother, who tells him that he has a twin brother who they had to abandon at birth owing to poverty. Mikhail was adopted by a lawyer. Alain calms the mother, who is now depressed and regretful of her actions. Alain and Sebastian decide to meet the lawyer who adopted Mikhail and travel to Paris. Upon reaching the lawyer's apartment, they find it in flames. Upon entering, Alain witnesses the death of the lawyer. A woman continues to scream, so he grabs a fire extinguisher to put out the fire. The woman begs him not to kill her and hands up Mikhail's adoption papers. As he prepares to leave the apartment, a Russian hitman unexpectedly accosts him. A fight breaks out between the two, and Alain defeats him. He then snatches the woman and flees away. He hands over the adoption papers to Sebastian, revealing that a Russian family had adopted Mikhail and relocated to the United States. Alain flies to New York with Mikhail's passport and airline ticket to investigate his brother's death and learn more about him. He remembers the hotel tickets and decides to travel there while pretending to be his brother. In New York, he meets a naive and talkative cab driver and convinces him to hunt for a person named Alex Bohemia. He goes to a slum neighborhood and encounters Martin, a man who misidentifies him as his twin brother. Martin admits Mikhail was a member of the Russian mafia. Alain asks about Alex Bohemia, and Martin directs him to the Bohemia Club in Little Odessa. He walks into the club, and the bartender offers him a free drink. Soon afterwards, a woman named Alex Bartlett mistakenly recognizes him as Mikhail and kisses him. She then gives him the key to a hotel room and informs him that he should leave immediately. After he exits the club, the henchmen of a man named Ivan intercept him and inform Alain that their boss wishes to speak with him. The man claims that they were like family, but he betrayed them. They try to stab Alain, but he knocks them out. Soon after, the chatty taxi driver comes, and Alain asks him to take him to the hotel, displaying the key Alex handed him. Because he does not trust the woman, he stays in another hotel room. Meanwhile, Ivan arrives at the Bohemian Club and sees that his goons have not detained Alain for even 10 minutes. Surprised, the henchman reveals that Alain has been speaking with Alex. When Ivan asks the woman what they talked about, she lies and walks away. Alain falls asleep in his hotel room but awakens when someone knocks on the door. Alex walks inside and begins kissing him. The woman continues to undress, and he admits that he is not Mikhail. Soon after, he notices Ivan and his henchmen in the hotel searching for him. The crooks ask the hotel owner for Alain's room number, but when they enter, the two have already fled. They flee across the rooftops, and the crooks soon catch up with them. They arrive at a nightclub, where Ivan's men begin shooting, and chaos ensues. Alain's taxi driver friend sees them outside the club and offers them a ride. Fortunately, they were able to escape the Russian hitman and Ivan's gang. A shot to the cab driver forces them to stop. Alain bids farewell to his pal for the final time and escapes with Alex. They stop at a pub, where Alex tells him that Mikhail was her boyfriend, and she was preparing an escape from the Russian mafia. Alain begs Alex to take him to Mikhail's residence to learn more about him, but Alex thinks this is a terrible idea. Nonetheless, she agrees to take him so that they can stay together. On the other hand, the FBI officials working with the Russians are worried about Alain. They plan to lure him into their plan and obtain a list that Mikhail kept in a secret vault. Returning to Alain and Alex, they reach Mikhail's house, where a henchman is waiting for them. Alain knocks him out, and they search the house. He realizes that Mikhail learned of his existence after reading an article in the media about his military accomplishments. At that moment, Yuri, Ivan's henchman, knocks on the door. Alain opens it and beats him viciously. He grabs a mirror and repeatedly beats Yuri, telling him to stay away from him. Ivan meets with Kirov, a Russian mafia boss, who asks him to bring Alain to him, mistaking him for Mikhail. Ivan wants to deal with him in his own way, by killing him, but Kirov prohibits it. Alain and Alex relocate to a friend's cottage seeking refuge. When he wonders why the mob wanted him dead, Alex explains that Mikhail wanted to collaborate with the FBI against Kirov. The next day, 2 FBI agents arrive at the cabin, knowing it's Alain rather than Mikhail. According to them, Mikhail kept evidence against the Russian mafia that he intended to present to them in order to get out of the criminal business. The agents want him to disguise himself as Mikhail in order to gain access to his safe deposit box at the nice bank. In reality, they simply want to delete any evidence linking them to the Russian mob. Realizing that the FBI, not the mafia, is aware of Mikhail's death, Alain assumes that FBI agents killed him and refuses to help. At this moment, they attempt to use violence, but Alain ties them up and departs with Alex. Alain tells Alex to stay in the car while he goes to meet Kirov, the Russian mafia's chief. He finds them in a banya and tells Kirov that Ivan attempted to assassinate him, which enrages the mob boss. Kirov chases Ivan away so he can talk to Alain privately. He requests safe transportation back to France and pledges to provide the list that his brother has stashed in the bank. In the meantime, Ivan orders the Russian thug to kill Kirov and Alain. The Russian thug stabs the mob leader, prompting Alain to engage in combat. During the confrontation, Ivan shoots Kirov dead. Ivan and his henchmen pursue Alain, who manages to flee the banya. A chase through the city begins, with Alain nearly hit by a train but escapes just in time. The NYPD soon arrives and arrests Alain. Ivan meets with the 2 corrupt cops, who tell him they need Alain to dispose of the evidence kept in a bank in Nice. The 2 corrupt FBI agents track down Alex, bail out Alain, and use the girl to force him to open the nice bank safe. Next, everyone is in a hotel room in Nice. Alex rushes to the restroom and asks Alain if he has an escape plan, but he answers no. Alex emphasizes that the agents will not leave them alive, even if they obtain the list. The next morning, they arrive at the bank, where it is revealed that Ivan has apprehended Sebastian, Alain's friend. Because of bank protocol, only Alain has access to the safe deposit box, while the FBI agents must wait outside. After a few test questions, Alain receives access to the box. When he opens it, he finds thousands of dollars of cash, a gun, and a recording of Mikhail explaining why he fled to be with his family. We learn that Mikhail created the recording expressly for Alain, who should not trust anyone. His brother instructs him to deliver the evidence implicating Russian criminals in the FBI to the American embassy. Furthermore, the money is intended for Alain and his mother, whom Mikhail wanted to reunite with. Mikhail claims he discovered he had a twin sibling by chance and decided to give up the criminal life. Alain becomes emotional, then prepares to leave. He instructs the banker to transmit the materials to the American embassy. He then lights a cigarette and activates the sprinkler system to escape. When he leaves the room, he finds the banker dead and the material missing. Ivan dispatched a Russian hitman to steal the evidence. The fire alarm goes on, and Alain rushes to an elevator, where he begins fighting the Russian. The elevator opens and people are about to enter, but the Russian tells them to leave. The criminal then begins choking Alain as he attempts to get the knife. He kicks the knife and stabs the goon in the foot. When Alain falls to the ground, he stabs the Russian. The elevator doors open, and the policemen point their weapons at Alain. The 2 FBI agents apprehend Alex and drive away in a car. Meanwhile, the police officers are on their way to inspect Ivan's van when Sebastian flashes his badge, signaling them to depart. Abruptly, the police encircle the van and command its abandonment. Sebastian attempts to immobilize Ivan, at which point Alain comes and shoots the driver in the head. Ivan holds Sebastian hostage and tries to flee. Nonetheless, Alain manages to blast out the van's tires and flip the vehicle. Following an explosion, the car catches fire, and Alain tries to save his companion. He smashes the van's glass and pulls Sebastian's hand, but Ivan stops him and shoots, missing Alain. Sebastian, on the other hand, defeats Ivan before escaping the van with Alain's assistance. Finally, the 2 companions leave, just before the van completely explodes. Sebastian tells Alain about the 2 FBI agents who took Alex away. He dashes into traffic and recognizes the agent's vehicle. He steals a car, resulting in a long chase through Nice. Alain pursues the FBI agents to a chilly storage area. The 2 agents hold Alex captive and attempt to assassinate Alain, who is still stunned from the impact. He jumps out and shoots one of the agents. The last one admits that he no longer has the evidence, but he still wants the money Mikhail left for his brother. Suddenly, Alain approaches from behind, pushing him to the ground. The agent retrieves a chainsaw and assaults him with it, but Alain recovers the gun and kills him. The American embassy successfully receives Mikhail's evidence on the FBI and Russians. Finally, Alan invites his new romantic interest, Alex, to meet with his mother to tell her about Mikhail. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.